I love my boyfriend Tom. He was a nice guy, very affectionate. He brought positive energy into any room he entered. He never took anything too seriously and always lived in the moment. I really liked that about him. But the longer we were together, the more his carefree lifestyle annoyed me. We never went on trips because he was incapable of planning ahead. I had to remind him about birthdays and special occasions because he wouldn't remember and he never checked the calendar. At times I felt like I was his parent instead of his girlfriend. Things came to a head last summer when he convinced me to sign us up for a couples challenge at my office party. I work for a growing tech company, and they do a ton of team building events throughout the year. I personally hate them, but because Tom is always the life of the party, he always makes them fun. My coworkers like him a lot more than me. Every summer, our office spends a day in the mountains for a series of challenges, like tug-of-war and three-legged races and stuff. In the past, I always sat on the sidelines and watched, but this year, Tom convinced me to sign us up. I had to get special permission from my boss because Tom wasn't an employee. It was kind of a hassle, but Tom insisted that we have fun. And on the day we were supposed to go, he completely forgot. He went to visit his brother on a whim. I called him over and over, but he didn't pick up his phone. He forgot to charge it. My boss wouldn't let me back out, so I had to go to the event and do all the two-person games by myself. I came in last place every time. The worst was the three-legged race. Since I was just one person, I had to run across the field on two legs and one hand. I fell right on my face. Anyway, it was awful. And when I got home and asked Tom where he'd been, he didn't even apologize. He acted like it wasn't a big deal at all. It's just some stupid games. I exploded. I screamed at him, unloading all my pent-up frustrations. I don't think I knew how much I was holding back my anger until that moment, when years of grievances came out of me all at once. I don't remember everything I said, but I remember telling him that if he didn't grow up, I'd leave him. He looked like I'd slapped him in the face. He got really teary-eyed and promised me over and over that he'd make things right. He swore he'd be a better boyfriend, and like a total idiot, I believed him. For the next few days, he was really attentive and affectionate. He cooked me breakfast and did all the chores around the house. I didn't know how long this new version of him would last, but I liked it so far. Then I came home late from a pretty grueling work trip. It was already nighttime and Tom was asleep on the couch. I didn't know why. I went straight upstairs to our bedroom, but when I opened the door, I had a full-on panic attack. Before I tell you what I saw, it's important to give a little backstory. I have a crippling phobia of dolls. I run past toy stores just so I don't have to see what's inside. I know it's irrational and embarrassing, but I can't help it. When I was 6 years old, my grandmother surprised me with an antique doll that she used to play with when she was a girl. At the time, I thought it was the most wonderful thing I'd ever seen. It was a blonde baby doll with big blue eyes, like a lot of dolls from the 50s. It had this special feature where you fed it candies and it would pop them out of her diaper. I'd never seen anything like it. Its little mouth moved and everything. What I didn't know at the time was that these dolls were discontinued because they were a safety hazard. Anyway, Grandma sat with me while I fed my new doll little pebbles. I had so much fun watching its mouth open and close like that. And Grandma was having fun too, because she was passing down one of her cherished childhood memories to me. So I gave her the doll and asked her to feed it some pebbles. She did. But my grandma had very long hair, and as the doll was swallowing those pebbles, her hair got caught in its mouth. She screamed, but the doll kept moving its mouth and sucking in more of her hair. I watched in horror as all her hair got yanked off her head. I didn't know that Grandma wore a wig. I don't think I even knew what a wig was back then. To me, it looked like she'd been scalped. I freaked out and hid in the closet, and ever since that moment, I've been terrified of dolls. Tom knew that story. I brought it up a lot, but of course he forgot. So when he decided to surprise me by filling our bedroom with hundreds of knockoff Labubu dolls, with their ugly little eyes staring at me, he thought he was doing something nice. Well, my childhood fear rushed back. The dolls looked like they were moving, even though I knew they weren't. I crumpled to my knees and gasped for air, completely overcome with pure terror. Tom heard my scream and rushed up the stairs toward me. I didn't see him coming, and in my panicked brain, I thought that there were more Labubus coming to get me. I slammed my arms towards him, trying to protect myself from the doll attack. He toppled down the stairs and landed with a crack. I didn't realize what had happened until I saw him lying at the base of the stairs, his ankle twisted to the side. He broke his leg and got a concussion, but he was fine. I went with him to the hospital, but when he regained consciousness, I told him that I never wanted to see him again. I left him there to recover alone, packed up all his stuff, and dropped it off at his brother's house. And I made his brother go into my bedroom and remove all the Labubus before I saw them again. I'm single now, and I like it that way. I could do so much better than Tom. I deserve someone who actually listens to me.